All right, guys, give me a minute. You thought this was a regular hustle-taking? Start this again. All right, guys, I'll be right back.
Yeah, you like what Rafiki did to your butthole, didn't you?
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. See what she does?
It starts with SH and it's a 4-letter word.
Shit.
Junior. No, Junior.
What the fuck? Shit. It's not yours.
Mine.
No, not you again.
Mine. Not him again. Not him again. Who is that?
Damn
That's me right there. That's me like the maddest ever. Say damn that. Like that's me right there. Oh my god. Here's Bowser.
Bowser, your guests are beating the shit out of me.
What's up, man?
Oh, hey, Mario. I'm just cleaning up the kitchen from Thanksgiving. Man, it was a mess.
Wait for it.
At least I don't have to cook for another week.
Yeah, about that.
Actually, about that. I was wondering if you could possibly cook a whole other Thanksgiving dinner.
Nigga, the fuck?
All right, guys, no more distractions. Let's get this reaction.
All right, Bad Landlord, Part 2. Marvin, the P.O.S. Landlord. If you haven't seen my first cartoon on what it's like living with a slumlord, let's do a quick recap. Me and my friend Brewer lived in a duplex owned by Mark the landlord, not a very nice person, and he was known for constantly showing up unannounced for Gestapo inspections and letting his pillhead brother steal all my childhood toys out of the basement. And oh yeah, of course, he shut our water off, which forced us to use Mountain Dew to flush our poop down the toilet. All right, what a nice recap. Well, after dealing with all that, me and Brewer decided it was time to move on to greener pastures. And by greener pastures, of course, I mean moving to an even shittier house with an even shittier landlord. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Now, Brewer was the one that found this new place on good old Craigslist.com. Remember that website? Yeah, back then it wasn't just used for buying hookers and methamphetamine. I mean, it was mostly used for that, but you could also find houses to rent as well. So we make an appointment to check out a house that's in our price range, and that is where we first meet
Marvin, the piece of shit landlord.
Now, of course, we didn't know he was a piece of shit when we first met him, but he sure as hell wasted no time lying right to our fucking faces, let me tell you. Hi, I'm Marvin the landlord from Pisshole Rental Properties. How you guys doing? Good, Marvin the landlord. Nice to meet you. You're not like one of those piece of shit landlords, are you? Oh, no, of course not. Me? No, I'm one of the good landlords. I tell you what, you boys couldn't have picked a nicer area. It makes Mr. Rogers' neighborhood look like a fucking crack den, I tell you what. Look, right over there, there's old Mrs. McGillicuddy.
By the way,
Oh,
guys,
Mrs.
I watched the
McGillicuddy.
Jake Paul
Lovely
Mike
day
Tyson
we're
fight
having.
on TikTok,
I don't know
and Jake
who
Paul
you
won.
are.
Isn't that-
Dad, she's got dementia. What can I say? Anyways, you guys want to go inside? So we got to look at this house. And you know, it's a piece of shit, but that's all right because Brewer and I are used to living in pieces of shit. It's our natural habitat after all. The only real problem that we had with the place was the backyard because, well, there's a shit ton of garbage back there left behind from the last tenant. But according to good old Marvin the landlord, all of that would be cleaned up by the time we moved in. So, taking Marvin the landlord's word at face value, we agree to rent out the place. All right, looks like we got a deal. I just need you guys to sign this 2-year lease agreement, give me your first and last month's rent, a security deposit, your social security numbers, and if you could slice your hands open and make a blood pact not to fuck up the property, I can get you guys the keys by next week. So the following week, me and Brewer start moving all our stuff in, and we can't help but notice that the neighborhood seems a hell of a lot shittier than it did on our first visit. All of a sudden, there's like broken windows everywhere. There's like an active crime scene. Old Mrs. McGillicuddy's lying dead in the street and shit. The meth head standing there holding a machete and a Newport. The fuck you looking at, Four Eyes? Nothing? Oh, God, get in the fucking house. Yeah, I don't know what kind of David Copperfield shit Marvin the landlord pulled off, but presto abracadabra, suddenly the neighborhood is a complete shithole. But hey, guess what? We signed a 2-year lease. Looks like it's home sweet home for the time being. I thought Marvin the landlord said this was a happy place. Yep, I thought so too. I don't think he's one of the good landlords, is he? No, Brewer, I don't think there's such a thing. Well, imagine my surprise when a few days later, I'm leaving the house to go to work, and I see that my car has a slashed front tire, and the words, bitch, ho, are spray painted on the side of it. Oh, what have they done to my sweet, sweet Chevy Cavalier? But then I look a little farther down the road, and I see that there's another white car, very similar looking to mine, with all of its tires slashed, and many, many more bitch hoes spray painted on the side of it. Now, I'm no Columbo, but I'm guessing what had happened was, late last night, some piece of shit wanted to get revenge on his ex-girlfriend, but he was so drunk, he didn't realize he was vandalizing the wrong car until he was fucking halfway through. Ah, fuck, wait a minute, this isn't a Dodge Neon. Whoops. So I decided to go ahead and give Marvin the landlord a call because, well, he straight up lied about how great this neighborhood was. Hello, pisshole rental properties. Marvin the landlord speaking. Yeah, hi. Just letting you know my car just got fucked 6 ways to Sunday out the street. Oh, really? Sorry to hear about that. But, what's that got to do with me? Because you said this place made Mr. Rogers' neighborhood look like a fucking crack den. That's what. I did? Well, that's weird. I've never even seen Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Oh, well, sorry to hear that. Bye-bye. And just like that, in so many words, Marvin the landlord told me I could go fuck myself, and it was none of his business. Well, needless to say, I had a real rootin' tootin' time that day, driving to work on a donut with my bitch ho-mobile. Dude, what the hell happened to your car? Shut up, Debbie. I'm a part-time NASCAR driver, sponsored by Bitch Ho Enterprises. Fuck off. Leave me alone. Now, lying about the neighborhood being a shithole is one thing, but another thing that Marvin the landlord seemed to gloss over was the fact that the house was completely infested with rats. Now, why was it infested with rats, you ask? Well, I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with the fucking mountain of garbage out back that was never taken care of. Now, you might have seen an old cartoon that I did 4,000 years ago about me fighting a bunch of rats over control of our household. But if you haven't, well, basically, these rats were our own personal shitty deadbeat roommates. They'd eat all our food in the kitchen. They'd use our fucking Netflix account without asking. You'd be trying to sleep at night. All of a sudden, a rat's trying to get you to co-sign on an auto loan for a used Honda Accord. Come on, man, my debt-to-income ratio's fucked. Just sign the bottom line. It's a good deal. Well, you can bet your ass that I called up Marvin the landlord to let him know about our little shitty rat situation. Hello, pisshole rental properties. Marvin the piece of shit, or Marvin the landlord speaking. Hey, Marvin the landlord, guess what? We got a bunch of rats in this bitch. What? You got rats? Are you sure? Yeah, Marvin, I'm pretty fucking sure. Man, well, that's weird. I've never even seen rats there. Pisshole rental properties. Marvin the piece of shit, or Marvin the landlord speaking. Hey, Marvin the landlord, guess what? We got a bunch of rats in this bitch. What? You got rats? Are you sure? Yeah, Marvin, I'm pretty fucking sure. Man, well, that's weird. I've never even seen rats there before. Oh, well, sorry to hear that. Bye-bye. Hey, wait a minute, god damn it. Could you, I don't know, maybe send out an exterminator? An exterminator? You mean like one that costs money? Yes, Marvin, it's pretty fucking bad over here. Well, eventually, Marvin the landlord agrees to get somebody to come out to our house and deal with this goddamn rat situation. Well, imagine my surprise when a few days later, the doorbell rings. I go and open the door, and guess who's there? Not a fucking exterminator, I can tell you that. Instead, there's 2 rat traps left behind on the ground with a little post-it note attached to them. Good luck. Go get 'em, Tiger. Marvin the landlord. Oh, okay, cool. I guess we're the fucking exterminators then. That's neat. So after getting next to no help from Marvin the landlord, me and Brewer had no choice but to fight these rats all on our own. Oh shit, we need an airstrike now. Bombs, napalm, fucking Agent Orange. Who gives a shit? We need help. Again, if you want more details, go check out my old rat hunting video. Or don't, I'm not your dad. I can't tell you what to do. Just know that eventually, me and Brewer had to violate the Geneva Convention and use chemical warfare to poison all those fucking rats. Well, after dealing with that whole situation, me and Brewer were not trying to live in that house any longer. I mean, it's probably only a matter of time before that meth head out in the street breaks in and has his way with us. Ah! Do you guys want to buy some food stamps from me? Well, lucky for us, Brewer runs into a guy at work that has a rental property of his own, and he said that we could move in as soon as possible. So when Brewer comes home and tells me this, I'm like, hell yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. So I call up Marvin the landlord, and I'm like, hey, Marvin, guess what? We're moving out next week. You can suck it. Whoa, 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 what are you talking about? You guys signed a 2-year lease agreement, buddy. You're not going anywhere. Yeah, well, we're fucking breaking it. How about that? We done dealt with rats and meth heads, and somebody slut-shamed my Chevy Cavalier. We're done. We're getting out of here. Well, this little conversation quickly escalates into a screaming match over the phone. Marvin says something along the lines of us being pieces of shit and he should take us to court. And I say something along the lines of him being a slumlord piece of shit and he should go die in the street. Something along those lines. Well, eventually Marvin gives in and he's like, you know what? Fine. To hell with you guys. You got a week to get all your crap out of my house. Goodbye. Fucking kids these days. Can't even deal with a meth head or a few dozen rats. Unbelievable. So after breaking our lease, Brewer calls up the guy from his work to let him know that we're good to go. Hi, it's me, Brewer. You know, the guy from Circle K? No, the other guy. You know, the guy that you think is weird, but you look past it because I gave you free Polar Pops? Yeah, that's right. Hey, I'm just letting you know that we're ready to move in. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, I see. Okay then, bye-bye. He said he already rented that place out to somebody else. What are you talking about? Brewer, I just broke our lease and called Marvin a slumlord piece of shit. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that. Well, we are now in quite the pickle, and it's becoming apparent that we have one of two choices to make. We can either A, live out on the street and start smoking crack, or we can B, call up Marvin the landlord and apologize for, calling him a slumlord piece of shit. Well, at first, I was like, fuck it. We can live out in the street. I can learn how to smoke crack. It can't be that hard. But then I was like, no, I can't do that. I was a Cub Scout, for Christ's sake. I took an oath not to smoke crack. So once again, I call up Marvin the landlord, but you bet your ass I am not going to apologize. Hey, Marvin the landlord, it's me again. Guess what? We're going to do you a favor. We're going to stay here, and we're not going to break the lease. What? Are you serious? You're going to keep giving me money, even though I'm a complete and utter piece of shit? Yep, that's right. And it has nothing to do with us not having another place to live. You're welcome. Fuck off. Thanks for nothing. So in the end, I guess Marvin the landlord won the battle because we ended up staying in that shithole house. But you bet your ass, as soon as that lease was up, we got the hell out of there and moved on to greener pastures. And by greener pastures, I mean a halfway decent house with, believe it or not, a halfway decent landlord. Wow, look at that. We found one. But if you want to hear that story, well, you're just going to have to wait till, never, because there really isn't much of a story to tell. I mean, there's no rats or meth heads out in the street. It wasn't fucking haunted. We didn't get a utility shut off. What can I say? Life's not always a goddamn M. Night Shyamalan movie. All right? So here's to you, Mark and Marvin, the pieces of shit landlords. If you're out there to this day still ripping people off, well, I hope your next eviction is a fucking nightmare, and I hope a sick cat pisses all over your carpets. The end.
BruceDude.com.
Okay, let's see the wax. Let's do the wax.
Google AI helps you find your best customers by optimizing your campaigns in real time. Just set your specific goals and Google AI
All right, so this story is a little disgusting. It's a story about my roommate Brewer and myself living in a house infested with rats. Delicious. Now, after all the haunted duplex shenanigans, me and Brewer decide to move into an even shittier house in an even shittier neighborhood. And instead of dealing with demon ghosts, we get to deal with a bunch of disgusting-ass rats. I think I'd rather live with like a pissed-off orangutan or something like that instead. Mr. Bubbles, do you mind if we watch Netflix in here? Oh, God. Now, when we moved in, we obviously didn't know that the house was infested. But after a couple of days, we started seeing tiny poop pellets in the kitchen. Hey, have you been leaving little tiny turds around the house? No. Huh. Well, I wonder what that's all about. It wasn't until one night I was in the bathroom taking a dump. I look over and I see the ass of a rat hanging out of a hole in the wall. Well, that's not something you want to see while you're totally vulnerable taking a poop. Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Now, my first instinct was to grab a pair of scissors and cut its tail off. But then I was like, no, that's fucked up. It's like some Jeffrey Dahmer shit. What the hell's the matter with you? So in mid-poop, with my pants around my ankles, I open the door and yell, "Rats! We got rats in the house, invading my privacy!" Now, it's important to note that this wasn't a mouse. A mouse is little, it's cute, it's friends with Donald Duck. People like mice. Rats, on the other hand, they're big, they're nasty, and they couldn't give two fucks about Donald Duck. Now, my bedroom in this house was on the bottom floor, so that means I could hear the rats outside my door all night long. Now, that's pretty damn disgusting. All I could think about was, well, what the hell happens if one of them comes in here? Hey, what's the password to your Netflix account? We want to watch season 4 of Scrubs out there. I'd open my bedroom door. They'd all scatter every which way. But there was one big-ass rat that was like twice the size of any of the other ones. That goddamn thing was like half the size of Brewer's dog. It was the Megazord of rats. That goddamn thing looked like a boss from a Mortal Kombat game. It was not afraid of me at all. It'd just be staring at me like, the fuck are you looking at? Why don't you get in the kitchen and make me some bagel bites? So needless to say, we had a big problem on our hands. People stopped coming to our house and shit. I'm not going over there. I don't want typhus. Well, I'll be damned if I'm going to live up to my asshole and a bunch of rats. Desperate times call for desperate measures. So the next night, I'm laying on the living room floor with a BB gun. I got a cupcake out in the kitchen as bait. It's time to pull a Lee Harvey Oswald and assassinate me a few rats. Now, I actually got real footage of this fantastic time in my life. Boom. Right there's the cupcake. Buttercream frosting. It's delicious. And look who shows up. Fat-ass rat looking to party. I take the shot, and I totally fuck it up. Well, some Lee Harvey Oswald I am. Jesus Christ, my ass wouldn't even hit JFK's convertible shooting like that. So let's slow the footage down and analyze it like some little rat Zapruder film. Here's the shot. And this goddamn rat does some Neo from the Matrix backflip bullshit over my goddamn bullet. Okay, so clearly the BB gun is not gonna work. Time to move on to rat poison. We sprinkle a bit of rat poison right on the front step of this asshole's house, and sure as hell the next day, it's all gone. They damn well licked that plate clean. 2 days later, I go in our basement, and there's 4 dead rats on the ground. All right, job well done.
Where's Megazord at?
Where's that big bastard at? That goddamn Megazord rat is nowhere to be seen. 2 more days go by. I'm sitting in my room watching TV, and lo and behold, the big kahuna himself comes crawling across the floor in broad daylight like somebody's drunk uncle and just dies right there in the middle of the living room. And here's a picture of that goddamn thing. I put a little Taco Bell packet in there so you could get a reference of the size. But before we could celebrate, Brewer's dog prances on in. She sees that dead rat and she's like, "Oh, what do we have here? A dead rat full of disease and poison? Well, I better have a lick." Shortly afterwards, I walk out there, see Brewer's dog making out with this rat carcass. The dog looks up at me like, "Well, I wasn't just gonna leave it there. I'm a dog, you stupid ass." So I panic. I call up Brewer while he's at work. And I'm like, your dog was just licking a dead rat like an ice cream cone. You got any last words you want to say to her? But she was all right. We took her to a vet afterwards, and they gave her some medicine. How about you don't let your dog eat dead rats? So our house was officially rat-free. Nobody got typhus, and I could poop in peace again. The end.
Brewstew.com.
Okay, guys, I hope you actually, let's do one more. Let's do one more booster. This was on my community post, but I'm going to accept that. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoy that video. And comment down below of this, the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. And let me know you guys had any issue or try to watch the fight. All right, you guys make sure you guys like and subscribe. I see you guys next time. And yeah. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe. Make sure you like, subscribe, add comments down below, and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Peace out.
Jeffy is your rising star. No for note and bar for bar. You can't keep up, you're not on par. I shit your heart on every song. Don't believe it, I'll prove you wrong. I bang your mom just like a gong. Pee pee poo poo Johnny Schlong. Yeah, okay, yeah. I spank my dopper very hard. I spank my dopper very hard. Okay, yeah. I spank my dopper very hard. Yeah, I spank my dopper very hard. I'm Riri. Target as fuck, stole a chromie from my homie, now he quacks like a duck. And if you think you're just as Riri, then you're shit out of luck. And I go crazy on the beat, till my pee-pee gets stuck. I spank my dopper super hard, you cannot out-retard. Pee-pee short like Wolf or Quan, it's just me, there is no squad. You think that you are the best? I got hoes that have 3 breasts, like the feeling on their chest. Smells like fish with lobster fest. Got hoes coming to my nest, flocking in from east to west. Rapping's easy to stay in the test, millions of fans, I'm feeling blessed. Junior Joseph Cody.